Orlando, Chaz McAdams. We're now joined by the first ever general manager of St. Bonaventure men's basketball, Adrian Wojnarowski. Appreciate you taking the time. I tell you what, they really rewarded you with one heck of a first season, their best start in 55 years. It's got to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's been tremendous. No, good to be with you guys. Good to be at Rose Hill today. This is a great college basketball environment. A lot of Bonnie fans here, along with the Ram faithful.
Oh, we can hear them.
Yeah, yeah. And so, listen, people are excited about our team and our community, and so good first half for us. But this is as you guys know, this is a good Fordham team, and we overcame some foul trouble in the first half and got some really good contributions from our bench.
Yeah, speaking of your role as GM, just kind of an ever-shifting landscape in college basketball, obviously with NIL and everything. What do you think that means for the future of mid-major basketball?
It's a challenge, and I think Fordham, I think certainly the people at Fordham are faced with it. It's St. Bonaventure and certainly, sort of the smaller private schools in our conference. We're trying to compete at a high level in our league with the Daytons, with the VCUs, St. Louis's, whose resources and size are significant. And there's a gulf that's increasing, that's probably going to increase with revenue sharing. And so I think for schools like St. Bonaventure, I think like Fordham, a St. Joe's, a Duquesne, being creative, being really efficient with the resources you do have, and for us having, an incredible coach in Mark Schmidt, that closes a lot of gaps for us, and that tightens, the gap with schools who do have more resources. We've been doing that for a long time under Coach Schmidt at Bonaventure, but the challenge only increases. So obviously, NIL is a huge part of that, and so, and my role as GM is spending a lot of time trying to be creative and maximize the resources that we have and the folks who can help us and that we can work with to try to help us with NIL.
I'm curious just to get your thoughts on the general landscape of college basketball. Obviously, the NIL era, and you hear rumors about, well, they might let JUCO years not count at the D1 level. It seems like
it's not a rumor; it's a court case.
Yeah, that's right. College basketball seems like it's just changing every year. I want to get your take on that.
Adapt or perish, and that's where we all are right now. And I think for us at Bonaventure, listen, the most important recruiting you're going to do is with your own team, and retention and keeping your players. Once you have them and they experience success and buy into your program, keeping those players. And so you're always working on that because it's perpetual free agency. Everybody can be a free agent every year. And so it's changing I don't want to say every year. It feels like it's, every month, every week, there's an evolution to this. And so for us at Bonaventure to have a place where people really care about our program, understand that the success of our basketball program is, it directly correlates to success and the thriving of our entire university. And so for places like Bonaventure, like Fordham, when your athletic program is going well, your university is doing well. And so it has bigger ramifications for us.
Thank you.
I'd love to get, you talked about how much you loved Bonaventure. It was part of the reason you came back and took this role. And we hear so many great things from alums that talk about Bonaventure. You see the fans come out, even here in the Bronx, miles away from Ole in New York. What has Bonaventure meant to you? What do you think it means to this alumni fan base? Can you speak a little bit about how just impassioned it seems the Bonnies fans are?
Yeah, there's no place quite like St. Bonaventure, a school with 1,900 students that competes in a league like the Atlantic 10. There are other schools our size, but they're not in a league like this.
Yeah.
St. Bonaventure was a transformational place in my life, and I think for a lot of people. And so it keeps we all keep an incredible connection to it. I think the success of the program is a big part of that. But even in pre-Coach Schmidt, in lean years, people still, it didn't change how much people love the place and want to get it right. And so for us, the opportunity we have to continue playing at a high level like this is because we have this impassioned fan base that will not just go into Rose Hill, but will go into other places. We played in Florida earlier this year, and we have alums everywhere, and it's a lot of metropolitan New York alums here. and folks will travel. But it's a special place, and I'm honored to be back and to be able to play a role and just trying to help coach with the program and try to get us through this really challenging time. I'm having a lot of fun.
Do you think, obviously you spent the better part of your career being an NBA insider, do you see, with all the movement that we see in college basketball now, that being kind of a role that we can see in college basketball rather than just in the professionals?
Yeah, I think the GM role, I think for every school every school's got different needs out of a GM, and I think every GM, a lot of us have come from very different backgrounds. Baker Dunleavy at Villanova was a coach, and Alex Klein at Syracuse was in scouting. I come from a different background, and so I think you kind of play to your strengths, mind relationships, and try to open doors for our guys and be able to go out and try to raise money and give our guys pro opportunities while they're in college, getting them in gyms with NBA guys, and then when their careers are over here, to get them access to people who can help their careers, whether it's playing here in the United States, hopefully in the NBA, or playing overseas.
One last quick one, because obviously very famous to your time as an NBA insider. A couple big FUV guys in the NBA world, Mike Bree and Ryan Ruocco. Just curious if you ever had any interactions or minglings with them.
It was an honor to work with both of them. Obviously, both I worked with at ESPN. I saw Michael Kay. The patron saint of Rose Hill. Here, John Giannone and just Jack Curry. Legends. I mean, those guys are legends in my profession, my old profession, and obviously Fordham. Great Fordham men. So it's great to see those guys here. And Fordham is a who's who, and we think we have a pretty good journalism school. Mike Vaccaro, Dan Barry for the New York Times, Pulitzer Prize winners here. So some pretty esteemed journos from Fordham and Bonnie's in the house today.
Adrian Wojnarowski, the first ever GM in St. Bonaventure men's basketball history. Woj, thanks so much for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.